Kerry Champion.
Yes.
I'm picking Oklahoma City. Obviously, LeBron James has been playing out of his mind, particularly over the last 3 games. He's to be applauded for that, no doubt about it. But I'm going to tell you right now that I think the flow that KD is on right now, I think it continues. I think the way Reggie Jackson and Jeremy Lamb and Serge Ibaka and those boys have been playing, I think that continues. Miami, I have no doubt, will be up for this game. They will be ready. But considering how they ran roughshod over the Oklahoma City Thunder right before the All-Star break last year, just blew them out, even though the final score was only a 10-point difference. They blew them out before the All-Star break last year. I don't think this is that kind of situation where Oklahoma City is going to sleep on them in any way compared to what they did last year. I just think that KD is on another level. I think he's going to put up big buckets. I could see him scoring at least 35 tonight. I think that ultimately that'll be a huge difference.
Yep.
And despite the greatness that LeBron James will put on display, and I have no doubt he will,
yep,
I think this is one of those nights where, because OKC is coming and they want to send the message that they're coming, they will be ready for this encounter and they will win this game. It will be close. It will be a nail-biter. But somewhere along the line, KD will close the deal.
Ooh.
And they will win probably by about 4.
By 4?
Something along the lines of 103 to 99.
103 to 99, says Stephen Naismith.
Yes.
What do I say? Even though the Miami Heat are 4.5-point underdogs at OKC, I am going with the upset, and I feel pretty good about it. I am going with the Miami Heat 110 to 105 by 5, scoring the same amount of points they scored about a year ago, the game you alluded to before the All-Star break in OKC. You know, I love the way this Heat team has been playing the last couple of weeks, especially that guy LeBron James, that forgotten man who's now the challenger to Kevin Durant, who has been proclaimed by many the new best player in all the basketball world.
Not yet, but he's coming.
Well, he's coming. Yeah, but most people leap to that conclusion. And I'll tell you what I think a big advantage tonight will be for the visiting team. The Miami Heat had the benefit of playing at Dallas, a Dallas team that had won 6 of 7 on Tuesday night, to get back in their flow.
Okay.
And they are in a flow right now. The Thunder have now been off for an entire 7 days. And I think with Russell Westbrook due to come back, they're saying game time. I'm going to assume, are you going to assume that he's going to play? I'm going to assume he's going to play.
Sure.
So throwing him back in to their flow after a whole week off, I think will lead to a little early rust, a little out of syncness early on for the Thunder. I saw it last night, Spurs at Portland. Portland had not played a game since the break. Spurs got to play a game at Clippers and got back into the flow. So I think it's a distinct advantage. And I must say, I am now starting to see that Heat team that we saw last year, the team that has won 2 straight championships. The team, as you pointed out, that went into Oklahoma City the night before the All-Star break a year ago and led by as many as 23 points in a game in which Kevin Durant still scored 40 points. He scored 40 last year. So it's certainly no leap for you to say he'd get 35-ish tonight. He may get 45-ish tonight. And I still don't think it's going to be enough. Do you remember LeBron's game last year there? He went for 39, 12, and 7 on 14 out of 24 shots, made 4 out of 8 threes. And you know what? When LeBron makes 4 out of 8, the other team's in some trouble. And what I loved last year was, and I'm starting to see it again this year, Chris Bosh dominated Ibaka last year with 20 and 12, and Ibaka went up with 6 and 6. Well, if that happens, I'm giving the Heat a shot. Even though the Heat got woefully out-rebounded at Dallas, I think they'll step it up on the backboards tonight. I think you're going to see them play a little more possessed tonight to control the backboards.
That last game, not the one in Miami this season, but the one from last year before the All-Star break, the Heat also out-rebounded Oklahoma City by 9. That certainly cannot happen again. Ibaka being impotent offensively, that cannot happen again. He's got to do something. Plus, he's got to be more of a defensive presence. But I think Ibaka is much improved, which is why I give Scott Brooks so much credit, because I'm seeing a plethora of players on their squad that have all improved. And that shows me some significant coaching is going on. On a part of Miami, I'm almost sick of talking about them. Eric Spoelstra is just a sensational young coach. This man needs to just be given so much credit, and Pat Riley needs to be given an abundance of credit for hiring this guy out of nowhere to be the head coach of this franchise. He is clearly the heir apparent, the perfect successor to a Pat Riley, which he has not only proven with the 2 championships, but the guy walks around like he hasn't won anything. This is the kind of coach this guy is. Eric Spoelstra is a sensational young coach. So let's give him credit where credit is due. And I'm not surprised at all that the Miami Heat are ready, okay, that they're looking better and better. As long as D-Wade is out there, D-Wade's at 75%. They're an elite team, for crying out loud. And we know what LeBron brings to the table. And Chris Bosh and what he's done this year has gone widely unnoticed as well.
I agree.
This dude is still a star in this league, and he deserves a lot of credit. Great guy, by the way, too. But I say all of that to you to say, last year when LeBron had 39 in that game in Oklahoma City right before the All-Star break, they were also a plus 15 when he was on the floor. Even though KD had 40, they were a minus 10. With KD on the floor. I don't think that happens tonight.
Okay.
And when we talk about the rust, you're absolutely right. That's a very, very big point. But the flip side to it is that KD ain't rusty because he was playing.
Yeah.
You know, so he was playing this Sunday. So I just think along the lines of, again, I understand where you're coming from, but I think defensively and I think with rebounding, I think Oklahoma City is going to be better than they were last year in that encounter. And I think KD is, again, a different KD.